It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
Hey, man. Yo.
What's up?
What is up, man?
I'm feeling like shit, but I'm all right.
Oh, boy, what's wrong? Oh, no, what's wrong, man?
I have I think I have an ear infection. I have no idea, but I don't feel tremendous, but
That's not a good look.
I'm here ready to rock.
Have you taken anything for it?
Semen.
Ah, okay. All right. I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say crack.
Oh no. Crack can't cure everything for me.
It's like crack is for fun. Okay, Drew, get it right.
So I did manage to put together probably the most definitive timeline that anyone's gonna hear on the internet for 2022. That we can go over sometime during the show. So it's super long, so I will probably do half in the first half of the stream and half in the last half of the stream or something like that. But
Ooh.
it's good though. It's gonna be like, oh man, that happened this year. Like I forgot about that. Like 2022, as I stated, is the most craziest wrestling year that we're probably going to see in our lifetimes, maybe ever. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 2023 can, like, double it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, this has been an odd year. Like, not just for wrestling, but in general, because, like, it's been a year that, like, it started off long, and then it just, like, it breezed through in, like, the second half. Like,
right.
There's stuff that I remember where I'm like, did that come out at the beginning of the year, or was that last year? And then I had to check. I'm like, oh shit, that was like in February. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like on your, I don't want to like skip ahead or anything, but like I'm pretty sure on your timeline as far as like wrestling goes, the Cody thing, Cody leaving AEW and like his last match was in January, I believe, and he
beach break.
He officially left on Valentine's Day. That's just crazy to think about. But a lot has happened in the year of 2022. And we will be here to cover it. We'll be here to talk about it. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of crazy. Also sad. We'll get into the sad news in the beginning of the show. But welcome, guys. Welcome to the Year-End Awards. Welcome to the last show of 2022. The Drew Yari Show. And you already know who I am. I'm Drew. And my co-host, my partner in crime, Justin.
Justin from Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com.
Right. And I made a post where I was wearing one of Justin's fine shirts, which was the Wrestling is Real, People Are Fake shirt. And, yeah, guys, head over to Spinebuster Tees. Get you a shirt. Justin has...
shit.
Get your shit. He has you covered as far as anything you like. He has it. So hit my boy up. So how were your holidays? How was your Christmas?
Good, man. Watched the NBA games, NFL games that came on. Went out to Austin on Christmas night, which was very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it was good times. How about yours?
I can't complain. I was around my family. I was spent time with my nieces. It was fun. I mean, I guess the only criticism I have about Christmas this year is just it just feels like it came and went. Like I never really got a chance to like fully enjoy it the way you kind of should enjoy Christmas. But I mean, I can't complain. I was happy. I was around family. I was around my the lovely missus, and now we're just gearing up for the New Year's. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. What are your plans for New Year's?
Tomorrow, I mean, I don't know. I can't really say, but yeah, because tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Now I'm thinking about it. Like for me with New Year's Eve, it's like spontaneous for the most part. But you know, I'm just gonna treat it like a normal day tomorrow, and probably until like maybe 6 o'clock. And after that, who knows? And I'm more sure it's gonna involve drinking, but you know, we'll see.
I'm probably not going to do too much. Kind of same with you. I'll probably more than likely just be with family. Where we go, I don't know, because like it's always one of those things of we always say we're going to do something and then we either don't do it or we just stay at home.
Right.
I mean, I probably won't drink too much because I'm not really a big drinker. Well, I mean, not as much as I used to be in my younger days, but I'll live it up. I'll have fun. As we speak, SmackDown is going on, and Ronda Rousey just defeated Raquel Gonzalez to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. So we got that going. And then later on, you know, of course, we have the main event, which is John Cena, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Sammy. So should be a nice night.
Yeah, they should do a huge number tonight. Like people that I'm seeing who are we'll just call them pro AEW for the most part is even check out this show tonight. So yeah, so I mean good for WWE. Way to end the year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they should do a 3, at least 3.5, maybe. Probably even a 4. Oh, Charlotte Flair's back.
Oh well, there we go.
Yeah, Charlotte Flair just came back, and there's a lot of light, so I can't tell how she looks. Yeah, she looks pretty. She looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god! I know one person who's about to cream of wheat himself in his pants. Jesus Christ!
So I guess she's a face.
Yeah. Well, this is the WrestleMania rematch. And I see Ronda getting her win back. I don't. This Charlotte's not taking the belt off of Ronda at all. So again, I'm still pro Charlotte and Bianca for WrestleMania. So
yeah.
And I see Ronda and Becky Lynch. So this is just for Ronda to get her win back. But it's good to return now because like she's been gone forever. It's the end of the year, and she needs to be in the Royal Rumble. So
yeah, this is definitely gonna pop a rating. I would say 3.5, maybe 4. Yeah,
I don't know about when was the last time they hit a 3.5?
You know what? I have the internet for that. Let me look it up. I know. I think
3.5 million. We're talking about, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let me look up the ratings. Where are the ratings? Oh, here we go. Alright, SmackDown. Alright. When was the last time SmackDown hit a 3.5?
Maybe like I don't even think post WrestleMania they did that. Like they've been like 2 million all year, like low twos. Like I don't even. I can't even think that they had 3 million since like shit. Probably since like maybe 2019.
I remember they hit a 3. I remember they hit a 4. Oh, here we go. Last time they had last time they had a 3.5 was on the Christmas edition of SmackDown in 2020, and that was a 3.3. Yeah, I think that was when Big E won the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, so it's been over 2 years, or technically over 2 years for that.
So who knows? They might.
I mean, like yeah. I wouldn't be because it is Cena. Yeah, but Charlotte's in her gear.
Oh shit! They're gonna have a match.
Wait, what?
Wait, are they having a fucking match? Because I have it on mute.
Yeah, they're having a match right now. I didn't realize she was in her gear.
Dude, what the fuck?
I thought that was just like a. I didn't realize that's her gear. That looks different. Oh no.
Are you fucking
I mean,
kidding
maybe
me?
Charlotte. Maybe, well, you know what? You know what? Thinking about Charlotte wins here, right? She'll win here, then Ron gets the title back at.
Bro, are you
Royal
fucking
Rumble?
kidding me? So Charlotte came back and won the fucking title.
Well, there you go. That's stupid.
That's wow.
I
And-
don't like. Well, I mean, they're gonna have to have a rematch at the Royal Rumble, but
Right.
but does like oh my god? So Charlotte has beat Ronda. How many times they wrestled each other?
They had the Survivor Series match in 2019. They had the WrestleMania match, which that was this year, right?
Yeah.
And then this
And just
upcoming
now.
match at the Rumble, which I'm assuming.
It has to be. Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, 3 matches.
So Survivor Series 2019. Wait, who won that match? Ronda won that match.
I think it was like a no. I think it was a like what do you call it? A double
Like
KO
a
or
count
something.
outer. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the match where they were beating the fuck out of each other, which I love that, by the way. Damn. Okay. You heard
They
it
say
here.
20.
You heard it here first, folks. Charlotte is the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
I'm pretty sure everyone's watching right now because this is ridiculous.
Oh, I'm just saying for the people that didn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're covering it live as we speak.
We're
well,
doing it live. Fuck it.
But that's nuts. All right, let's move on to. There's really not a lot of news as far as wrestling.
Let
goes.
me add that to the list for things in 2022. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ.
Did you want to start with the news, or did you want to start with your timeline?
No, we can start with the news first.
So there's really not a lot of news. There's like 2 news things, and then of course
Yeah.
we have the our picks for the best and worst of 2022. And then, of course, the Q&A.
We'll mix it all in.
We have some sad news, of course. Iconic TNA announcer Don West passed away. He was 59 years old after an ongoing battle with brain lymphoma. Let's see. And Mike Tenay broke the news. He just heard from wife Terry that her brother Don West will be spending New Year's in heaven. Terry said D-Dub finally had to tap out from his match with lymphoma. We bonded as soon as we met, both as broadcast partners and friends. Years of great moments, both on and off camera. Sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat, guys. While his family originally thought that West had beaten his initial 2021 diagnosis of lymphoma, doctors later discovered that West's brain tumor returned at twice the size. Jesus Christ. West underwent stem cell treatment, but the tumor had progressed too far. West remained steadfast and optimistic in hopes that he would overcome his battle. A GoFundMe was originally started to help his family pay for his treatment, as Scott D'Amore and Impact Wrestling made the commitment to match any money that was raised during the summer. West had became a familiar voice to wrestling fans as he and Tenay were broadcasters for TNA Impact, and the two found great chemistry with one another. And West also has he was also on the Shot From Home network, if anyone remembers that. But obviously sad news. I like Don West. I know people kind of thought he was goofy. I mean, that's why I liked him. He had that kind of goofy, over the top, personality, but he made it interesting. And then you had Mike Tenay, who was kind of like the serious, sports announcer, and it worked. Those two had great chemistry. You can tell those two were actually, really good friends and got along. And I mean, again, this is obviously sad. Mike Tenay was only 59, and this decides to happen like towards the end of the year. So, it sucks. Our rest in power to Mr. West. Condolences to his family, of course. What are your thoughts on Don West and just his career in general?
So, funny thing is, I knew about Don West on the Home Shopping Network back in the day because I was interested in like the baseball cards and stuff I couldn't afford though, but like, when, growing up in the 90s, right? Like, and, either if you had cable, you're like a god to your friends. If you didn't have cable, you weren't a god to my friends. And, my dad had cable in his room. My brother and sister had cable in his room. I just had a little, like a 10-inch black and white TV. And I used to get like 5 channels. So one of those channels was the Home Shopping Network. And it used to interest me because that's how I got into sports. And like, because you do like the baseball cards and the basketball cards and things of that nature. So, and so that's how I was introduced to Don West. But outside of that, I mean, he was like the energy for our TNA. Like whenever you go back and look at old TNA clips, it's not Jeremy Borash, it's not Mike Tenay. Typically, you'll hear a Don West call like, "Yes, freaking insane," or "Are you kidding me?" Just things like that. So,
oh my AJ Styles.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, he was a very much of a
Right.
positive experience. He was one of the guys I was looking forward to hearing on TNA every single week when I was watching it weekly in every pay-per-view. So rest in peace, Don West. Condolences to his family. You know what I mean? It's a huge loss. Too young,
Right.
passing away. So yeah, condolences to his family. I know it's never a good time, to pass away. But I just kind of hope that you just kind of made it through a few more days just to get to 2023. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it any better, but you know what I mean? It just kind of sucks. It happens like right at the end of the year, like
Right.
like a gut punch. You know what I mean? So yeah. But,
I didn't know he was that young though. I thought I would have. I don't know. I just figured that most people who've been in the wrestling business that long would like maybe be in their 60s, 70s. Like he was 59. I'm like, damn, I didn't know he was that young.
Yeah.
But condolences to the family of Don West. Another news tidbit. This is I guess this is kind of like a rumor tidbit. Take it for how you will. Chris Jericho among top guys in AEW that don't want CM Punk back. And this is on TJR Wrestling. So let's get through it. The name CM Punk has been in the wrestling news a lot this week thanks to FTR's Dax Harwood doing a podcast where the subject of the first episode is CM Punk. They talked about Punk getting into a fight with the Elite after All Out, with Harwood revealing that Punk confided in him about what happened. During that episode, Harwood made a plea for his friend CM Punk to work things out with the guys he fought after AEW All Out, the Elite trio of Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. This is my plea to all 4 guys. Please find a way to make it work. If we can make it work, we can set up the future of professional wrestling for a long time, and we can change the course of professional wrestling for a very long time. When you think about it, unselfishly, we're doing this 20, 30 years down the road, so guys and girls can make a living. In the days after the podcast came out, Punk was on Instagram responding to a story with Harwood's comments, which led to Punk simply writing, "Duh." Whether that means Punk is interested in reconciling with AEW is unknown. The reality is that Punk likely can't wrestle again until March or April anyway because he had surgery to repair a torn triceps that he suffered at AEW All Out in September. While reacting to Harwood's comments and Punk's brief comment on Instagram, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that Chris Jericho was among the leaders in AEW that didn't want Punk to ever return to the company. He says, several of the top guys, Chris Jericho being among them, told the rest of the locker room that they'd make sure Punk wasn't brought back. I think a lot depends on where business is in about 5 or 6 months when Punk viably could be back. If business is bad, the odds of Tony Khan wanting him back are higher, especially with this being a contract year. If business is strong and they look to be getting a big increase in talks, the situation becomes very different. In theory, the longer he's out, the more the return means. Whether because of reality, a Punk and FTR, this situation puts FTR in the top non-title world program, if not the top program period, versus Elite match, becomes a hot program is something we don't know because this fan base has never had the style of program, but on paper one would think it's big, like Edge versus Matt Hardy thing, like the Edge versus Matt Hardy thing years ago in WWE. And then Meltzer continued to talk about Punk, but there are a lot of differences because for this, to have any chance of working, Punk would have to apologize, and maybe he will, but I'm not counting on it, and without it, it's probably going to lead to a lot of issues. But the same reality is, why would it cause a lot of issues? Not so much in the ring, because everyone involved are pros in the ring, but just backstage aspects. Obviously, this becomes one of the big stories of 2023, and how Khan handles all this. The injury is very much Punk's ally in coming back, because there is no point in making a decision until months later, and the more time that goes by, the more the wounds heal. On paper, and wrestling history always says there is no such thing as never. I think a Punk apology, which shouldn't be public, but should be for those in the locker room, would make it more palatable. But whether Punk would do that is unknown, and speculating on anything today is silly because many things will change over the next several months. As of right now, nothing has changed. And that's about it. So, I mean, what do you make of all this? I mean, this is just like hearsay. We don't really know what the situation is. But overall, what's your take on this whole situation?
I don't see CM Punk coming back to AEW.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, everything that's happened, and you know how petty CM Punk is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a firehead. He's petty. He's definitely somebody who will. I see CM Punk coming back to WWE first before going back to AEW, and that's something I thought I would never ever say, but yeah. So I mean, you gotta think about the people who, and you gotta think about it this way too. Like the people, like if let's say Kenny doesn't want to work with them, let's say Jericho doesn't want to work with them. I'm just throwing names out there, right? Like, who is gonna come back to work with? Okay, MJF. Okay, they still have that that closure there with that. But outside of that, I mean, does he really have a lot of people he can work with and actually put over and make better and programs that we want to see? No. If CM Punk comes back, everyone wants to see CM Punk versus the Elite. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't see him coming back. I don't know. Like, and also as well, the only reason why I think Punk would come back is really, I don't want to say for the money, but for the money, because
right.
This big, he has this big contract. You know what I mean? That he has with AEW. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. You know what I mean? 2022 is closing here in T-minus 26 hours from now, pretty much. You know what I mean? Less than that. 2023 is going to be very interesting on how they're going to handle this. And for the fact that he's going to be pretty much cleared almost by WrestleMania season, and with the WrestleMania build, with the Triple H build, maybe a little crazy. Maybe 2022-ish on what may be going on there. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see with it, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I really don't see CM Punk going back to AEW. And, we did forget about, the injury. He did suffer an injury. Whether that was during the match or during the the brawl, or maybe both.
It was during the brawl. It was during the brawl.
So yeah, there we go. So if he is going to come back, it's going to be after, that time when he's supposed to be, as you were saying, healed. So, and there's already been talks about Triple H wanting him back or changing his tune more than anything about bringing Punk back, because. Again, I don't know Phil, but the way Punk has kind of presented himself as he's a no nonsense type of guy, and day one, even before he went to AEW, I would say that Punk seems like the type of guy who would see the kind of shit that goes on in the AEW locker room from what we heard, and also kind of shit that you do in the ring, and just go, yeah, that's stupid. Don't do any of that. He's not going to be the kind of guy that's going to wait for you to ask him for his opinion. He's going to tell you because he sees that and goes, that doesn't make any sense. I think a WWE locker room now, post Vince, post the Vince era, now the Triple H era. There's already talk about, that the morale is a lot higher in the locker room, since Vince left and now Triple H is in charge because, Triple H is said to be a guy that listens to people, that he listens to wrestlers. He's not just saying, my door is always open and then you go up and his door is closed. He's not doing that. And, according to Triple H, him and Punk, already hashed out their, differences a while ago. So, I don't see Triple H as a guy that would lie about things like that. So, again, take that for what you will. But, I can see Punk coming back. But at the same time, I can also see Punk not coming back. I'm just talking about to wrestling in general. He seems like he saved his money and maybe he wants to do other things. But also, it's like he's tried other things. Like he wrote a comic book that didn't sell that well. He was in movies that nobody really saw that you can watch on Netflix. So, I don't know. I really don't. It's one of those things of just I don't see him going back to AEW, but I don't really know what he's going to do if he doesn't go to wrestling. So, for a guy like Punk, it's one of those things of just 2023 for the year of wrestling is going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting because, you got Cody coming back in the Rumble and possibly winning it and, possibly main eventing WrestleMania. And then, there's been talk about The Rock maybe even not going to Mania because we don't know how his schedule is going to be. And then you got John Cena possibly coming back to Mania. And then you got Steve Austin, saying that he would love to come back and do another match at Mania. So where Punk fits in all that, I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe we can have, Punk and Austin at Mania. That'd be interesting. That's
oh yeah.
That's the best way you can take advantage of two part-timers. Punk and Austin. And just imagine the promos. How the match goes, we'll just have to wait and see. But from the way Austin looked last year, or not even last year, this year, Jesus. He looked great. He looked like he could still go.
One more day.
I'm sorry, what?
I say one more day.
One more day. Jesus Christ. There we go. One more day. And also, again, this goes without saying, Punk coming back. What about the matchups? Look at all the people he can wrestle. Punk versus Sami Zayn, Punk versus Kevin Owens, Punk versus fill in the blank. Jey Uso. I'm just spitballing. AJ. That would be awesome. So, and also just the whole thing about apparently Jericho is leading the charge and being anti-CM Punk. It's one of those things that it doesn't really surprise me how Jericho has kind of become this kind of bitter guy towards the end of, towards pretty much his midlife crisis of I have to attach myself to the younger people. And, there was the whole thing about how he apparently told Punk, after the brawl, you're a cancer to the locker room. So, I just don't really know what to make of it. But, yeah, that's all the news that we have.
Wait, that's it? You forgot the biggest news story of the week.
Huh.
Dragon Lee signed to WWE.
Oh, yeah. Again, I don't want to be a dick. I don't really know who that is, but cool. Good for him.
Okay, well.
I'm always happy when there's more talent coming to the company, when there's more diverse talent. And it looks like WWE is kind of going back to what made NXT special, which was, or not even NXT, but just kind of that black and gold mentality NXT of we're going to sign, a lot of guys in the indies. And then they said, we're going to create our own superstars. And now it looks like they're signing more guys from the indies, which, I don't know if they're solely just going back to that. Maybe it's going to be a combination of we're going to sign names, but we're still going to create our own stars, which is good. You still need to create your own homegrown stars. Because, if we're remembering in NXT, Enzo and Cass, those are homegrown stars. Bailey was kind of, I guess you can call Bailey homegrown, even though I think she
She
worked.
was definitely homegrown.
She was definitely homegrown. Okay, we'll go with her. Sasha Banks was homegrown.
Rival FTR.
FTR. There you go. They were homegrown.
Chad Gable and Jason Jordan American Alpha.
Oh yeah, definitely those guys. And then of course you had your signed talent from, other feds like Adam Cole, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, who was El Generico, and then they took the mask off and realized, dude, you can talk, you're entertaining. Come on. So I'm interested to see where NXT goes because I've been paying attention to NXT lately, and NXT has been a more cohesive wrestling show than it has lately. So I enjoy it for what it is. So 2023. Here's to better wrestling shows. Here's the shows doing better, and hopefully AEW does better because I want AEW to do better. I don't want AEW to go out of business. I like that there's another option for other wrestlers and also other fans, but most importantly, other wrestlers, just so they have another place where they can get paid and work. So, and also be on television.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Lee, good for Dragon Lee. I mean, I really don't know much about his work. I mean, you're more the guy that knows more about this than me. So, what can you tell me about Dragon Lee?
Yeah, so he is Andrade and Rush's brother.
Uh-huh.
So they're brothers, right? He is. I'll put it to you this way: he's a mixture of like Ricochet, Ray Phoenix, that type of high flyer. However, with Dragon Lee, I think he's a little bit more. I think he has a little bit more upside as far as being a breakout singles talent, if built correctly. So with Dragon Lee, and he was also in New Japan as well. So that's another thing about him. So he was in New Japan. But also with Dragon Lee, I really truly think that, like I say, he has the potential of being a breakout star. He's the type of guy that's going to be coming into NXT that we haven't seen in a long time, right? Someone coming from the indies, to your point, right? NXT, to me, right now, is at a point where this version of NXT right now is kind of like what FCW was at the end and early NXT, with like Seth Rollins, being the first NXT champion. I see, right now I see someone like Dragon Lee coming in that's going to be like a Neville, right? When Adrian Neville first showed up to NXT, right? He eventually became, NXT champion. I see that for Dragon Lee. Then eventually we're going to see more indie talents coming in. We already know about, the Kingdom, or, well, not the Kingdom, but Vincent and Dutch, being at the, Performance Center and, supposedly maybe coming into NXT. Chelsea Green may be coming back. I think her being with the Toxic Attraction could be a good fit for her. In 2023, we're going to see more indie talent come over to NXT, including Kobe Carino, Steve Carino's, Steve Carino was it's his son, I think, or brother, one or the other.
I think it's his son.
Yeah, I think it's his son, right? Yeah. Steve Carino's like young too, so like he's still pretty young. But anyway, so right now we're looking at that where we're going to get these indie talents coming in, things of that nature, and eventually, give it maybe 2 years, Black and Gold is gonna be Black and Gold again. You know what I mean? And obviously Triple H, he wants to take over countries pretty much. You know what I mean? He's playing like a game of Risk pretty much, where he's going to take over Europe. You got NXT Europe coming in 2023, from the words of Triple H. And you may get NXT Latin America, Mexico, something like that. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. But Dragon Lee, big signing. He's gonna get over. This is the only thing I gotta say about Dragon Lee, is he needs to take the mask off.
Right.
He needs to take the mask off. you can only go so far in a mask. Really, the only person, luchador wise, the only person that's ever been over in the mask has been Rey Mysterio. We know what happened to Sin Cara, Lince Dorado, Grand Metalik. Although I love those guys to death, fantastic wrestlers. They didn't have an identity because they were in the mask, and they was being compared to Rey Mysterio. Santos Escobar, right? He wore a mask in Mexico. Took his mask off. I mean, well, granted, to be honest, he had his mask off before he came to NXT. But took his mask off. Look at him now, right? Santos Escobar, excuse me. Santos Escobar has identity, right? Andrade, La Sombra, in Mexico, right? You know what I mean? Him and his former tag partner, Tetsuya Naito, where he finds not LIJ, but it's just I guess IJ, Los Ignobles. Well, it will be LI, I think. Yeah, LI. Anyway, Los Ignobles from Mexico. He took his mask off in Mexico, and he came over to WWE without his mask, and and look at Andrade now. Became a bigger star of it. So the mask is going to be a big deal. If he comes in with a mask, he can be in a mask for a little bit and take it off, just like how Santos Escobar did. Went in a fantastic reveal, by the way, when he took off his mask. Mm-hmm. Or if he's in a mask, man, he's gonna, he needs to like. I mean, I can't even put into words like what he needs to do to stand out. He needs to do a lot of things to stand out. So, in my opinion, take the mask off. And I know he's gonna have to learn some English as well because he doesn't know English that well as of yet. He's gonna take some English classes. WWE has English classes for foreign talent that they take, and they take it like at school. They take it several times a week. So wishing the best for Dragon Lee, man. But to me, this is a huge, huge, huge gift for WWE. Not a lot of people see it now. But like we're gonna go back and look at this a year or 2 years from now. I was like, okay, that's the catalyst. That's the signing that changed it all right there for NXT. You'll see.
Right. I mean, again, I don't know the guy well, but I'm interested to see what he can do. If he's good, that's awesome. I mean, because like, I'll be honest, I don't watch too much indie wrestling because like it's like with like Kevin Owens, like that's a name I heard, but I never actually really watched him. And then I saw him, and it's just like, oh, he's great. Same thing with Sami Zayn. Like I didn't know who El Generico was. But then I saw Sami Zayn, I'm like, this guy's really good. I like him. Same thing with Adam Cole. I heard the name, but I never actually watched too much of his work. Like, I would see interviews, I would see him talk. I'm like, this guy's a pretty good talker. And then I see his work. I'm like, this guy's really fucking good. So, good for that. So, while you were talking, I looked up wrestling contracts expiration dates for all companies, WWE, AEW, NJPW, Impact, and I was trying to look up MLW because I wanted to see. Actually, here we go, MLW, because we were talking about wrestlers getting signed, Dragon Lee getting signed, and I'm just thinking in my head like, why hasn't someone like Alexander Hammerstone like been snatched up yet? And obviously he has a contract with MLW, which is showing that it's going to expire sometime next year. So hopefully he signs. Hopefully he can get signed first. Like if there's an offer for that dude needs to take it. If it's one of the two big companies, WWE. I'm hoping, because how tall is Hammerstone? Because I saw Hammerstone was listed as like 6'7".
Like he's tall. Like he's shorter than what he actually looks. Like he's not that tall at all. I'm not saying he's short. I'm not saying he's a midget, but like his stature is big.
Because I saw he was listed as like 6'6" or 6'7", but it's weird because he doesn't look that tall.
I don't think he's that tall. I think he's probably more like a maybe like a 6'2", 6'3". I may be wrong about that, but that's what he gives off. Like he's like 6'2". He's not that tall. I know that. He's not 6'7", 6'8". I know that for a fact.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's the guy I would love to see in WWE because again, he looks like $1 million. He looks like a star. He looks like a mini Brock Lesnar. I mean, because people want to say Parker Boudreaux was a baby Brock. I'm like, this dude literally looks like he came out of Brock's ball sack. Like he looks like, and like he even jokes about it on Twitter. Like he'll like put up pictures of him and Brock, and he'll go, "Father." So I think that's funny. Other contracts it's showing NJPW Will Ospreay is in 2024. Impact Wrestling, Sammy Callahan expires actually in January.
Yeah, he'll be great. He'll be great to come back to NXT.
That'd be interesting. Hey, the more talent, the better. Jordan Grace expires in May. Crazy. I thought Crazy Steve got signed by WWE a while ago, or was I seeing things?
No, he was definitely not signed by WWE.
Oh, I'm not even kidding. I could have sworn that he maybe signed a deal or maybe got cold deal. I don't know. Anyways, it's saying his contract expires in May. Moose expires in June, but who gives a fuck? Heath.
Wait, you don't like Moose?
Meh.
Okay.
I tried to give him a chance. He just doesn't do it for me. Heath, or Heath Slater, as we all know, expires in fall. So I don't want to act like I assume I know what these people think. I'm pretty sure he'll come back to WWE. Rich Swann is in 2024. NWA Kerry Morton expires in June. So that's interesting.
He's AEW. I see him. I see a young talent like that going to AEW.
Let's see, WWE contracts. This is interesting. Rey Mysterio's expires in September. Alexa Bliss and Alexa Bliss and Riddle, they're signed through 2023. Let's see if Riddle doesn't get fired. Mustafa Ali mid 2024. I'm just going to go through the next few that are 2024. Ricochet, Jinder Mahal, Kofi, Biggie, and Xavier, all 2024. Dana Brooke, 2024. Ugh.
Jesus Christ, man. Please. Who signed her that long? God damn, man.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. Randy Orton, 2024. Kevin Owens, 2024. The Miz, 2025. Booker T's is until 2029. Undertaker
contract.
Right. Undertaker signed a 15-year deal back in 2019, so he's here till 2034. Jesus Christ.
I'll be dead by then.
Oh, stop. Hey, he's been dead since 1990, technically. AEW. Here we go. Kenny Omega, January 30th. Okay. He'll resign. Brian Cage, February. FTR, July 2023. They say it might be late March, so who knows. Jim Ross, 2024. Young Bucks, 2024. MJF, 2024, as we already know. Andrade, Bryan Danielson, 2024, 2.0. Renee Paquette, 2025. Miro, Kyle O'Reilly, 2026. Adam Cole, Malachi Black, and Jon Moxley, 2027. So there are the contracts. Here's another one. This is interesting. The Von Erichs, Marshall and Ross, they expire in June of 2023.
That's the one that I want to keep eye on. Seen a few of their matches, I like what I see. Obviously, the pedigree of the Von Erichs. I will love to see them come to WWE. NXT be perfect for them. And Triple H is going to treat them right. You know what I mean? Plus, what is that going to do for the family as far as merchandise? Oof. You know what I mean? Like Von Erich, action figures, right? Being the video games. They're already in the Hall of Fame already and stuff like that, right? But just like Von Erich appearances in Dallas, like, what a good opportunity for that.
Can you imagine if both FTR and the Von Erichs went to WWE? Like, just Just imagine Triple H just having a boner for that kind of match.
No, and also as well, just think about it like this, right? You got the Von Erichs there, right? You can have a segment with, you can have Michael Hayes come back on TV and manage somebody, sound like a young talent, right? And let's say he managed like a young tag team, just like how he did with the Hardy Boys. And the Von Erichs to get called up from NXT, right? And let's say like Michael Hayes' team is tag team champions, right? Then you can have the Von Erich boys win the WWE Tag Team Championship in Dallas with, with Kevin Von Erich there ringside and a spot with the claw, like given to Michael Hayes, like how big of a pop that would be in Dallas of that happening. Come on, Triple H. I know. There's some people who listen to this. Come on, man. Like either hire me or take this idea. If you take this idea, I just know you got it from over here. That's all I know.
I don't know. Triple H loves the old school, so I'm pretty sure the Von Erichs are on his mind, and I'm positive if they come in, they're going to be the Von Erichs. They're not going to fuck with it because they're going to want to sell that shit. And also, not for nothing, there's a Von Erichs movie coming out.
Yeah.
So maybe that can tie into it. I don't know, but that'd be good for business if you can get FTR, you can get the Von Erichs. I mean, fucking Triple H is really going out of his way to make tag team wrestling mean something again, and in WWE, of course. So that would be a good get. Someone like Hammerstone, I think, would be a good get. Jacob Fatu would be the wild card for obvious reasons because, of his past, but it's just one of those things of just sign the guy. He's talented. Like, and also for all we know, he's been keeping himself out of trouble. Like, just stop acting like this is a detriment. I mean, I think at this point the Briscoes are fine where they're at. I don't think they really want to get signed by a company. They seem like they like doing what they're doing. So, someone like Fatu, bring him in, and not for nothing, he's been kind of like saying nice things about WWE. So maybe, for all we know, maybe there's talks going on. I don't know, but again, like you said, the year of 2023 is it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to be. We're gonna be on this show for a long, long time tonight, which I'm cool with. This is the last show of the year. We gotta make it epic, but I think we should add in later on in the show, maybe towards the end, our predictions for or like crazy predictions for 2023.
Oh yeah, definitely we can do that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't make that kind of list, but yeah, we'll definitely do that. And if we go over 3 hours, fuck it. We're going to go over 3 hours all night. All-nighter, baby.
Motherfucker.
All night, motherfuckers. So did you want to do our year-end awards, or did you want to start with your timeline?
I'll start with the timeline here. I'm gonna go from January through June, through the end of June. Okay, right. So June 30th. So mind you guys, this took me, several hours to put together. Looking up articles, matching with dates, things of that nature. So I did this over the weekend, and I just kind of been adding it in for like the last few days, because the last few days was like not a lot happened other than like Dragon Lee. So, and what's happening tonight. So anyway, let's do it. Timeline 2022. This has been the craziest year in the history of professional wrestling, and after listening to this timeline here, it is gonna like dawn on you like, yeah, this has been a chaotic, crazy, newsworthy year. So newsworthy for the fact that people like Sean Ross Sapp ended up buying himself a house because of all the crazy news and the subscriptions that he's been getting. So good. It's good for the wrestling business, and good for the people who covered it. So, all right, let's begin here. January 1st, day one pay-per-view. Roman Reigns gets COVID. Brock Lesnar wins the WWE Championship. January 5th, WWE released William Regal, Timothy Thatcher, Danny Burch, and Hideki Suzuki. January 6th, Samoa Joe released from WWE. Jake Cargill wins the inaugural TBS Championship. Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page had their epic title match on Dynamite. January 7th, Jake Atlas injures knee on AEW Rampage taping against Adam Cole. January 13th, MLW sues WWE. Well, that's when the reports came out about it. Brody King debuts in AEW. January 16th, Mustafa Ali asks for his WWE release. January 18th, Gunther name change from Walter. January 19th, Jon Moxley returns to AEW. January 20th, Sami Zayn reportedly resigns a new contract with WWE. January 26th, Cody Rhodes' last AEW match versus Sammy Guevara and the debut of Danhausen on Dynamite. January 29th, Royal Rumble. Mickie James Rumble special entrance as Impact Women's Champion. So she came in with with the whole hardcore country theme. So that was pretty nutty. Same night, Royal Rumble, Shane McMahon comes into the Royal Rumble, and after, and I'm sorry, I forgot what my note said here. Shane McMahon, was eventually sent home after producing the Royal Rumble and inserting himself in the match and making it to the final three. On February the 7th, Shane McMahon is gone from WWE. February 9th, Keith Lee makes AEW debut. February 15th, Cody and Brandy Rose officially leave AEW. February 23rd, Buddy Matthews, aka Buddy Murphy, debuts in AEW. February 24th, Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli leaves WWE. March 2nd, Tony Khan announces the purchase of Ring of Honor Wrestling. March 3rd, the Vince McMahon Pat McAfee interview. Vince McMahon hadn't done interviews of that structure in years. March 6th, AEW Revolution. William Regal debuts. March the 8th, Stone Cold Steve Austin announces that he'll be returning at WrestleMania, and on the same night on NXT, Dolph Ziggler wins the NXT Championship. March the 9th, AEW Dynamite. Jeff Hardy debuts in AEW / the Jericho Appreciation Society forms. March the 11th, Pete Dunne is now Butch, and Big E breaks his neck on SmackDown. March 14th, March 14th, Scott Hall passes away. Scott Hall passes away on March 14th. March 16th, Thunder Rosa wins AEW Women's Championship in San Antonio, Texas.
I was there. Mm-hmm.
March 17th, WWE signs 14 new talents, including, listen to these names here, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, Soruka, and Santino Morella's daughter. March 25th, Triple H retires as a in-ring wrestler. March 29th, MJF and Tony Khan heat starts because of MJF doing the Ariel Helwani interview without TK knowing about the interview. March 31st, Tony Storm debuts in AEW / Marco Stunt leaves AEW. Good riddance. March 1st, Undertaker goes into the Hall of Fame. April the 2nd, Samoa Joe signs to AEW / Night 1 WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes returns to WWE, and Stone Cold returns to wrestle Kevin Owens. March the 3rd, Vince McMahon wrestles his last match in WWE and wins. April the 4th, Ezekiel debuts, not Elias. I don't know what I put there. I think I was just being funny while I was writing that. Right. April the 5th, Rick Steiner gets kidnapped by Joe Gacy on NXT. April the 7th, Nash Carter released from WWE. April the 13th, Satnam Singh AEW debut. April 19th, Kushida leaves WWE / reports of WWE name changes are occurring, including Casey Canzaro and Raquel Gonzalez. April the 20th, Tony Khan announces AEW / New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door pay-per-view. April the 25th, Asuka and Mustafa Ali return to WWE. April the 27th, the Iconics are done with the wrestling from Impact Wrestling. April 29th, WWE releases the following wrestlers: Dakota Kai, Dexter Lumis, Parker Boudreaux, Malcolm Bivens, aka Stokely Hathaway, and Persia Perota. May the 4th, rumors of Freddie Prinze Jr. Looking to start a wrestling promotion. May the 10th, Roman Reigns' new WWE deal is to work fewer house shows and fewer TV. May the 11th, Kota Ibushi, frustrated with New Japan Pro Wrestling management and alleges power harassment and abuse. Also on May 11th, Owen Hart Foundation tournament officially begins. May the 16th, Naomi and Sasha Banks put titles on the desk of Johnny Ace and walks out of WWE. May the 20th, Stephanie McMahon takes leaves of absence from WWE. On the same night, Naomi and Sasha Banks were suspended indefinitely. May the 23rd, police arrive at the home of Jake Atlas and is arrested for suspicion of domestic abuse. Video was not released until August. Suspected wrestler being abused was Duke Hudson. May 25th, Go Home Show. Go Home Show for Double or Nothing. The promo between CM Punk and Heyman Adam Page that ended up setting off CM Punk at the medium scrum at All Out. May 28th, MJF no-shows fan event and rumors about MJF getting a flight out of Las Vegas and no-showing the pay-per-view. May 29th, MJF loses to Wardlow in a squash match to open Double or Nothing, and CM Punk wins the AEW World Championship. June 1st, MJF comes out, does the work that the famous, at this point, work shoot promo on TK, leaving AEW for a couple months. Same night, CM Punk dives into the crowd and injures his foot. Same night, Hiroshi Tanahashi makes AEW debut appearance. June 2nd, Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti gets engaged. June the 3rd, CM Punk announces he's injured, he's still AEW champion, but he's the interim champion. But a interim champion will be crowned. Same day, Cody tears his pec off the bone while weight training. June the 5th, Cody wrestles Seth Rollins with a torn pec at Hell in a Cell. June the 7th, Apollo Crews returns to NXT. June 8th, AEW announces the new All-Atlantic Championship. Kyle O'Reilly wins Battle Royal to go on to face Moxley for the right to face Tanahashi at Forbidden Door for the interim AEW Championship. June 10th, reports come out that Paige is set to leave WWE the following month. June the 12th, rumors go around that we learned that Vince McMahon was being deposed by Otto Luck and his attorney over the XFL 2 weeks prior and was under oath. June the 13th, Jeff Hardy arrested in Florida with a DUI. June 14th, TK suspends Jeff Hardy from AEW. June 15th, Wall Street Journal reports that the WWE board is investigating Vince McMahon over secret $3 million hush pact since April. June 16th, Sasha Banks' lawyers is working on her WWE release, reports say. June 17th, Vince McMahon voluntarily steps down as chairman of WWE, and Stephanie McMahon becomes interim chairwoman. The same night, Vince McMahon comes out on SmackDown, gives a cryptic message welcoming fans to SmackDown. He's like, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm gonna come out to SmackDown. And also, Dave Hebner passes away. Referee Dave Hebner. June 19th, referee Timmy White passes away. June 21st, Bruce Pritchard named interim talent relations. June 22nd, Triple H holds talent meeting at the Performance Center, announces that he's back full time. same night, Kazuchika Okada makes AEW debut. June 26th, AEW New Japan Forbidden Door happens. Adam Cole last AEW match today after suffering concussion. Claudio Castagnoli makes AEW debut. John Moxley defeats Tanahashi to become interim AEW World Champion. All happen on the same night. June 27th, John Cena returns for 20 years of Cena on Raw. June 28th, Tony D'Angelo whacks 2 dimes on NXT to write him off because, you know, 2 dimes got let go from WWE. And on June 30th, halfway through this thing here, Logan Paul officially signs with WWE. That is June the 1st through June the 30th, halfway through this crazy year of not just WWE, but just pro wrestling in general here. Want to ask you how you feel about that? You know, well, like, is there some things in there that you didn't know, that you forgot, or, well, you know, talk to me.
Well, first, I think you need your own show. That's one thing. Like, give it up to Justin for that research, guys. Like, come on, like, hand clap. If I had a hand clap sound effect, I would play it right now. Congratulations, dude. Good job on that research. I gotta tell you. And also, second of all, Kevin Owens got a pretty nasty gash on his eye. I don't know if you're watching.
Yeah. I looked up and I saw that's not good.
Hopefully he's okay.
Who got pinned in the match? Because I was reading
Sammy.
up. Sammy. Okay, good. Okay, got it.
Yes. And then Sammy has blood on his hands. So Jesus. Also, third, it's just like I was mentioning in the show earlier. Like, you know, I was mentioning about this whole year in general. It's been a very long and short year, and there's things that you brought up that where I'm like, oh shit, that did happen. Like, that did happen at the beginning.
I told you.
Right, and then you said Logan Paul got signed in June, which I'm like, holy shit, he did. Like,
It's the official contract, yeah.
so, damn, like, and you know, we already got this. We just need the second half. So,
the second half it gets nuts because we didn't even get into the Vince retiring All Out, like the All Out thing. You're gonna be like, holy shit, you're a psychopath. but yeah, it's. I had a great time making this list. You can tell.
So yeah, dude, you need your own show. Like you need to make your own show. Do like a history in wrestling thing like that. Like this day in wrestling. That'd be fun.
I used to on my old channel. I used to have a channel called Venom Nation Wrestling.
I remember that
on YouTube. Yeah, so you know, maybe I'll get back into it, but you know, time's permitting right now. So, but we'll see.
I watched one of your shows. I remember you did one about like your favorite and least favorite wrestling themes, and you brought up Jericho's old theme, like from WCW, not the Pearl Jam one, but like the doon 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 doon.
Yeah. But I think it's I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that one's like glory and like. Oh god, I love that theme song. That was his first theme song too. When he comes in, like, "Come on, baby," and just throws himself into the crowd like babyface Chris Jericho.
I don't know. I was losing it over that thing. I'm like, holy shit, that was his theme.
Love that theme.
But do you want to get into the our awards?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the 5th annual year-end awards for this show. The 5th annual year-end awards. It's crazy to think about. So basically, this is just our best and worst of the year that is 2022 for wrestling. I don't know why there's an echo. I fucking hate echoes. But I sent Justin a rough cut of the nominations, and it's just basically the best and worst, our favorite and least favorite wrestling match or wrestler or whatever you want to call it. So Justin, how's about you go ahead and start?
Alrighty, yes. I don't even have, like, you say you sent that to me. Did you send that to me via Skype? Well, not Skype, Jesus Christ. Via Instagram?
believe I did. I know.
I don't think I got. Maybe. I mean,
Well,
I am.
well, I mean, I have the nominations up right here. I can just like read it to you, and you can.
Oh yeah. We'll just do that then. Yeah, let's do it like that.
So, tell me, what was your favorite match of the year?
Favorite match of the year. I'm gonna have to, and it was close. It really was close, but I was thinking maybe. I was thinking about cheating and doing the whole FTR Briscoe's trilogy of matches, right?
Right.
Love those matches, fantastic matches, but at the end of the day, I'm thinking like, am I gonna remember these matches forever, right?
Right.
Then I was thinking, okay, well, maybe I can do, Sheamus and Gunther. Although I think, Sheamus and Gunther, I don't think I know is a better match than the match I'm gonna actually say that's my match of the year. But my match of the year had more drama. It was more drama filled. I'm gonna remember it forever more than Gunther than Sheamus. So my match of the year is Hell in a Cell, Cody versus Seth Rollins. Although it wasn't the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen, the fact that Cody went in there, the gasp of the crowd, the hush of the crowd, of just seeing his black and blue, pectoral muscle, and him going out there and doing that match, and knowing that he really tore off the bone, and just the fact that Seth was in there like a slimy, dirty heel, and the resilient babyface of Cody winning that match. Although the other two matches I mentioned are actually better wrestling matches, when I think of 2022, that's gonna be one of the moments I'm gonna think about is that match right there, and how Cody pulled off that match. So that's my match of the year. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Was an easy pick, but that's my match of the year.
You read my mind. That's my match of the year. Cody and Seth. The Cody and Seth trilogy has just been good in general. Their match at Mania was great. The match at Backlash, I would say maybe was my least favorite, not because it was bad. I was just a preference. I thought it was still good. Just out of all the three, I thought maybe it was my least favorite. But the Cody and Seth match is just, like you said, was it a particularly great wrestling match? Yes and no. But you brought up something interesting when you were talking about, when you were kind of making comparison of, the Briscoes and FTR, which is and I'm just paraphrasing, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is this a match I'm really going to remember in, 5 years or even next year, really? And the Cody and Seth match at, Hell in a Cell, it just still sticks out in my mind because it was great storytelling. And, just that whole Chicago crowd, where that's a crowd that will cheer for anything. They go ape shit crazy for anything, and they're a loud crowd. That whole crowd was shocked when they saw Cody, take off his robe and, you see his chest was just fucking purple, red, whatever you want to call it. And even I don't get shocked at, most things. I usually don't feel uncomfortable with most things. This is a match that made me uncomfortable because, from what I heard, I don't think Cody's injury was that was as bad as we thought it was, but it was just, damn, he's really doing a great job at acting. As soon as I saw that, that injury, I was like, Jesus Christ. And the whole match, I was feeling uncomfortable, because you saw Seth working on the injury, and granted, I'm pretty sure Seth took care of him. But even I was even ugh, it was just making me squeamish. And just a lot of the little things, when Cody brought out the cowbell. Right. And, he puts it on and then he throws it at Seth, come on, put it on. You a man? Come on, you're the man you think you are? Come on. And then Seth was like, you know what? Fuck you, I want to put it on. So I thought that was really fucking good. I like that there was only a use of kendo sticks for 5 seconds. Because, again, I'm getting fed up with kendo sticks, but that's another story. I can't really think of much else that I can say that hasn't already been said that you haven't already said. I love this match. I watched it twice. I want to watch it again. it gave me the feels. Like, it was a very emotionally investing match that if you had a friend that never watched wrestling, this is a match you can show them. Like, this had the feels of like 1970s, 1980s, like Southern wrestling.
Right.
You know, and then you had two greats in the ring that were able to make it work. And again, Cody deserves the credit. Seth, I think, deserves the credit as well. Like, say what you want about Seth. Seth has really made a lot of great wrestling moments for the company this year, especially with Cody. And you know, he's been a great adversary for Cody. So, yeah, this is my favorite match of the year. No, enough said. Justin, tell me what your least favorite, or what do you think was the worst match of the year?
So, I mean, there's been a lot of terrible matches this year. Not a lot of terrible matches. I'll be honest, a lot of the wrestling this year has been very good, actually, for the most part. There's been some stinkers. There's been some stinkers out there for sure. If I had to pick one, though, if I had to, like, you know, I could say either the Royal Rumble match, bad, right? Or I can say, the New Day versus the Brawling Brutes at WrestleMania, right? Because the storyline was like Big broke his neck and the New Day was kind of, get the revenge there. But not only the New Day lost, it was like a, 30-second match, damn near, you know what I mean? Only a few minutes, but if I had to pick a match that was worst of the year, it's a women's match, and I'm torn between the two women's matches that I'm thinking about. But I'm gonna go with Ronda Rousey and Shotzi Blackheart at Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, we covered that on here. Yeah,
it may be recency bias, but that one was bollocks, man. Or I can really say too, maybe Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks at All Out. That was pretty bad too as well. You know what I mean? But the other women's match I was thinking about was Jade Cargill and Tay Conti at Revolution.
All right.
But the match I'm going with is Rousey and Shotzi Survivor Series.
That was a close second for me, for my choice, and this is a match that I believe this is when you started on the show. And we were talking, and the match was going on. It's an AEW match, if you guys can believe it. And I remember it was going on. We were watching. And we're like, and like you have that saying, it was Bullocks. Like, this is a Bullocks match. The match I'm talking about, I was on Dynamite. It was Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston in a barbed wire everywhere match. This was just BAD bad. All around bad. Like, you guys need to watch it to see how bad it was. Everyone in the ring just didn't know how to move. Like Eddie Kingston, I'm happy if I never have to see him on television ever again, because the guy's a good promo, but the guy just needs to be like a manager and never, ever, ever, ever wrestle again. Jericho at this point has just become a parody of himself. And just, this was like watching bad porn, except there was no sex. And just shitty wrestling. It's like, you can do a barbed wire everything match. I'm not above watching like death matches or like barbed wire hardcore matches. Well, maybe death matches, because I'm not really into that. But like hardcore matches, street fight matches, I'm not above watching that. And those could be fun, or those can just be really stupid. This is a good example of something that was really stupid and just really bad. And this is my choice for the worst wrestling match of the year. And the Shotzi and Ronda match was a close second. All right, Justin, tell me who in your opinion, was the best male wrestler of the year.
So this is so subjective. This is like if you go with any wrestler that's like been top of their game this year, I can't dispute you over it. You could say guys like Seth Rollins, You can say guys like Kenny Omega, even though, he came back in the middle of the year, but, the matches he has been pretty good. You can throw a random person there like Ray Phoenix, so innovative and does unbelievable moves in the ring. Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada. You know what I mean? You could throw a lot of those names out there. But for me, when I thought about it, I was like, who is the top guy, the main guy who puts on the best matches? And if I count all three of those things there, it's Roman Reigns, man. It's Roman. He's the top guy. You know what I mean? To part of the pun from FTR, top guys out. It's Roman, man. It was Roman's year. Became double champion. Fantastic character work. And, he ends the year on the loss. And, but that's going to be interesting what's going to happen next week on SmackDown. Because Sammy took the pin. But, that's 2023. Not 2022. But Roman Reigns, man. It was like again, I can't, if you say Jon Moxley, I'm not gonna dispute it. I'm not gonna dispute if you say Jon Moxley, Seth Rollins. Oh, my favorite wrestler of the year is a heel Vicino. Not gonna dispute it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I may dispute okay, my wrestler of the year is Brian Cage. Okay, you're fucking out of your mind. But if you give me a top guy, you know what I mean, and a work rate monster or either or, I won't dispute it. But Roman Reigns is my wrestler of the year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because Roman definitely deserves all the credit in the world because he's definitely the top guy, not just in WWE but in wrestling. He's the guy. He's a tribal chief. He's the head of the table. What else can you say about him that hasn't already been said? A lot of his matches have always been fun to watch. The Brock match at SummerSlam, where it was just let's be fucking nuts and just destroy everything match, which was fun. It was still a fun match. The Rumble match with Seth was fun. But to me, I think Seth Rollins has had the best year as far as having great moments and having great matches with everybody. He had the match with Roman where he came out in the Shield garb and he psyched him out by playing the old Shield, theme music, which I marked out for as soon as I heard that. And of course the trilogy with Cody. And he was in my match of the year with Cody. The feud with Riddle, which was a little mixed in my opinion, but the matches were decent. And then he had some really good matches with Bobby Lashley. He's looks like he's currently in a feud with Austin Theory, which I'm interested in that. So Seth to me is the choice for wrestler of the year because he puts on the best matches. He is the guy. Yeah, he's the guy that's that's being the ring general. I mean, I know that's that's Gunther's thing, but in this case, it's Seth. He's the one making these moments happen. So Seth, to me, is the best wrestler of the year, in my opinion. You guys can dispute me all you want. So tell me who you think, in your humble opinion, is the worst male wrestler of the year.
The worst male wrestler of the year? Quincy Elliott.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, he hasn't really had that many matches.
Well, from what we saw, has been fucking terrible.
Right. Okay.
From what we've seen, has been really bad. He's been so bad, he hasn't been back on TV.
Well, didn't he get in trouble? Didn't he say some things or something?
Even before that, he wasn't even on TV. When's the last time we seen this guy? I think the last time we see him on TV was maybe Halloween Havoc, maybe a little bit after that. But he hasn't had matches. He hasn't even been on a Level Up.
No, but I'm saying there was a thing that came up recently where I guess he was in a chat room or a group chat and he said something.
Yeah.
Homophobic things or whatever. But yeah, he's bad. He's pretty bad.
Terrible.
For me, maybe this might cause like an argument discussion. This is just my choice. This is someone that I used to like, and I used to be a fan of, and I'm pretty sure you know who it is. Someone who I think has just become a giant parody of himself. Chris Jericho.
Oh,
to me, I think he's the worst wrestler of the year. Granted, he likes to go out there and work as much as he can. And yes, he's over 50 and he's not the Chris Jericho of 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But he's just become a parody of himself. Just the whole notion of he needs to latch on to something that is popular to make himself feel more relevant. He needs to constantly bring down other younger wrestlers that could be having more TV time, but for whatever reason, he needs to have them under his thumb. I mean, I'm almost terrified of what's going to happen to Ricky Starks. So, and his matches have not been good. And yes, I just said the obvious. He's 50. He's not Jericho from 20 years ago, but it's just the stuff he does is cringe. Like I have to mute every time he comes out to the ring because I can't stand the quote unquote fans that sing his theme. The whole wizard thing is fucking stupid. Him throwing fireballs at people is fucking stupid. Him wanting to feel like he's this wrestling genius for having a competitive match against an unknown wrestler named Action Andretti or whatever the fuck his name is, to make it seem like he's God. He's cringe. Jericho is cringe to me. He's cringe Jericho.
So he's okay. So he's cringe. Okay, I get it. Does that make him a bad wrestler though? I don't know if I agree with that.
To me, like Quincy Elliott is a bad wrestler, yes, but he was barely on TV. Jericho is on TV every week. He's just, to me, again, personal preference. I'm not enjoying this Jericho. This is not the Jericho I liked, and yes, I know he's older, but maybe that's a sign. Maybe he needs to step away and let the younger guys work their craft, because he's not really doing this company any favors, in my opinion. So, Chris Jericho, to me, maybe I should say he's my least favorite wrestler of 2022. But
that I can deal with. Okay.
So maybe we should be more clear. Maybe I should be more clear with the nominations. He's my least favorite wrestler, but everyone I've seen this whole year, he's definitely not the best compared to a lot of people. So that's my choice.
Because I was gonna say, like, I mean, you're saying that he's worse than Commander Aziz, like in ring.
Let me kind of repeat before then we can move on to the next topic. Like,
yeah, right.
Compared to most people, he's on TV every week, and the stuff he does to me is just not good. It's my least favorite thing of anything I see on television, especially AEW television. Like he gets go away heat for me. I'll make it more clear than that. Like he definitely gets go away heat for me. So let's move on. So tell me, who was your favorite female wrestler of the year?
Favorite female wrestler of the year, and I will say she's the best female wrestler going right now, is Bianca Belair. Her matches with Becky Lynch, and just her work rate for the entire year. She didn't really feel stale to me. Matches with Bayley and Damage Control, even though that felt stale during the summer. But as far as in-ring work rate, popularity, and just her, really just coming to her own this year, becoming a household name, which I feared with her at first when, 2-3 years ago, I'm like, man, is she really gonna become a household? No, she's a mega star. You know what I mean? And the sky's the limit for her. So, Bianca Belair is my female wrestler of the year.
You read my mind. Bianca Belair, like, she has been the biggest star, in this company. Also, maybe the biggest star in women's wrestling, period. Like, she fits what the company wants. Like, she looks like $1 million. She's beautiful and she can kick ass. I kind of wish there was more of an edge to her, because her doing the smiley, clappy, shtick is getting a little dry, but it's not making me like her less or making me dislike her, if that's the best way to put it. So Bianca is the perfect choice for the best women's wrestler of the year, bar none. Who was your least favorite women's wrestler of the year?
Marina Shafir. Not even close. Terrible in the ring. Terrible mic skills. The fact that she's married to Roderick Strong and wrestles on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, I won't say every week, but a few times a month, and still pretty much doesn't do well in the ring, or no improvement, and and feels entitled to go on social media and who can't take criticism from podcasters like us. It just shows that she has a poor attitude as far as taking criticism. But just despite all that, let's say she had a good attitude taking criticism, it doesn't change the fact that she's not good in the ring, and she's not good in her promo work, and she hasn't really improved at all. So Marina Shafir for me.
My least favorite women's wrestler of the year, another AEW female wrestler, Jade Cargill. Again, kind of like what you just said about Marina, just piss poor attitude, in and out of the ring. That's how I look at Jade. Jade is just someone who doesn't know how to internet, and just, again, everyone knows how I feel about JD from New York, but what she did to JD along with, Britt Baker, when they were saying things like, "Oh, we all laugh behind your back." It's like, you guys are like 30-something. I'm pretty sure most of you have families and have kids, and you're being a fucking bully. Like, why are we doing this fucking mean girl shit? So, and she just sucks in the ring all around. She's not good. She hasn't improved one lick. And just least favorite women's wrestler of the year, as far as like a person, and also both a person and also a wrestler. So, least favorite. Who was your favorite tag team of the year?
Favorite tag team of the year? The Creeds, baby! No. We already know how I feel about them. If y'all watched a few weeks ago, we did the tag team PWI list. I love the Creeds, though. FTR. FTR has been the best tag team all year. They're the best tag team in the world. You can say the Usos. I love the Usos too. For me, they're second place. But just the body of work that FTR has done, winning the New Japan IWGP tag team titles, was the AAA tag team champions until a couple of nights ago. Just winning big matches. Obviously the Ring of Honor tag team champions as well, but just their body work, the matches that they have, the stories that they tell. Dax Harwood is a top 5 wrestler to me all year. Cash Wheeler, very, very underrated as well. And also on top of that too as well, is that at one point before Tony Khan cooled off, because that's what he did. He did cool off FTR. Dax Harwood was possibly a top 3 wrestler of the year. He was in conversation being wrestler of the year on the matches that he was putting on. And I'm pretty sure he won that title until, maybe, intentionally, unintentionally. I probably may say unintentionally, but, Tony Khan cooled him off. So, but yeah, FTR, tag team of the year, just unreal matches that they had this year, and just shows the value on how good they are.
This is tough. Because I like both teams, but I'm going with the Usos. The Usos, goes without saying, they are, to me, the best tag team in wrestling. They won both titles. They unified the tag titles. They're a part of the hottest faction in wrestling. And at the same time, they go out there and they have really good matches. And, Jey Uso, kind of like how you just said about Dax, like Jey Uso is someone that, you really let him loose and you really let him go out there and work. The guy can fucking work. Like, to me, just as good as Dax. He's really goddamn good. Like, he had, what was it? There was that match. It was a 6-man tag. I think Backlash. And he went out there and worked. And I'm like, where was this Jey Uso? I haven't seen this Jey Uso in a while. Like, he's really goddamn good. So, the Usos, to me, My favorite tag team, I think, are the best tag team in wrestling, personally. Who would you say is your least favorite tag team?
Worst tag team of the year. Jeez, man.
Not even really the worst. Just like, who's a tag team that you're just like, that you watch and you're like, I can do without.
I mean, Maximum Male Models, maybe. I mean, probably them. Either them or the Do Busters in AEW. One of those two. Or you know what? No. The freaking what's their name? The Nightmare Factory.
Okay.
Terrible. Anytime I see like Nick Camarado, freaking Aaron Solo, like no, like just kill me, just gut me, not fuck me, but gut me.
So that is your choice for your least favorite tag team.
And the worst.
All right. Anyone that knows me well enough is gonna know who I'm gonna pick in this category, the Young Bucks. Like, again, I have to preface. A lot of people like the Young Bucks. Justin's a little bit more fair to the Young Bucks than me. They're my least favorite tag team. I have zero interest in anything that they do. Anytime they have a match, I either change the channel or I put it on mute. Like yesterday, or not? Was it yesterday? No, Wednesday. When they had Game 6 of the Chicago Young Bucks versus the New York Death Triangle, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. I immediately had to put it on mute. I can't watch that match. They're ruining Kansas for me. That's how much I hate them. They represent everything I hate about modern wrestling. And they're just fucking douchebags. So, they're my least favorite tag team. Probably of all time. So,
wow.
The Young Bucks. So, it gets interesting after this. So, in your opinion, who do you think is the most overrated wrestler of the year?
Most overrated wrestler of the year? Whew. I'm trying to think, man, on that one. Most overrated wrestler of the year. This is not going to make any sense because I did mention him part of my top wrestlers of the year, and I still think he's a top wrestler of the year as well. But I think that people kind of overrate him just a little bit, just based off of the circumstances he was put through. But I'm gonna go with Jon Moxley, even though I think he's probably still a top. Honestly, I'll still probably put him top 3 wrestler of the year. But people are kind of making it seem like, in a way, that he was doing something revolutionary this year, and that he was, God's gift to wrestling, and that he was just putting on banger after. There are some metrics from Jon Moxley. So I was like, it was okay, but it wasn't great. Or I wouldn't say he had like a bad match this year or anything like that. And there were some matches where he was just like, just fucking fantastic shit that he was doing in the ring. But even though I still consider him maybe a top 3 wrestler, maybe top 5 wrestler of the year, but I still people think kind of overrate him. Jon Moxley for me.
I was shocked because that's my pick of the most overrated wrestler of the year, Jon Moxley. And it's just, I like Jon Moxley as a person. I think he seems like someone who's kind of like a good dude if you met him. But it's just his in-ring work is just meh. Like, he's someone that has proven that he's useless without like chairs or barbed wire or thumbtack. Which, granted, he's kind of slowed down on that because you signed a new contract and Tony wised up and said, "Listen, if I need you to work for me. I can't have you go out there and working in GCW or other Outlaw Mud Show type of companies. So, smart on Tony for doing that. No. So he hasn't done any of the like the thumbtacks and the hardcore shit, lately. But he's boring. Like all he is a promo, and there's the whole thing where there was the promo where MJF mocked his promo where he just like walks around and makes weird faces and weird movements, and he talks about eating people's or drinking people's blood and pissing down their throat or whatever. And it's just the whole fake tough guy shit is annoying, and just his matches are just not very good. Like the match he had with MJF, I thought was good until the table got brought out, and when I saw that just screamed to me, that seems like a Moxley thing. That seems like something Moxley has suggested, and MJF was like, okay. So
would you put Moxley in like your top 10 wrestlers of the year if you had to make a top 10 list?
No, he
wouldn't make it.
He wouldn't be in my top 10 best. He would be in my top 5 least favorite. And I probably should have made a list of my top 10 best and worst, but yeah, he is my most overrated wrestler of the year. Not worse than Chris Jericho, but at least Moxley can move and he can sell. So Moxley is my most overrated wrestler of the year. Who would you pick as your most underrated wrestler of the year?
Angelo Dawkins. I think he really, really shined this year, showing that he can hold his own, and also showing that hey, I know Montez. I know he's gonna be that single star, but hey, don't overlook me. And we talked about this before with Angelo Dawkins as well. That to me, he is the least overrated, but
Yo. Hold on, my screen froze. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I can't hear you, dude. Hold on. I gotta let me log out. Let me get out and then I'll come back in. Hold on. Okay. Yo. Are you kidding me? Okay, Justin, do me a favor. Get out of the stage and then come back in. And then I'll invite you back in. Because I literally can't hear you. Gotta be kidding me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Jesus Christ. Well, no, like right when you were giving me your choice for underrated, the screen literally froze. And right when you were talking, it started doing this like really loud buzz sound. So, yeah, luckily I didn't have to like log out or log back in. I had to go back to the audio settings and like reset everything. So, we're good. Sorry about that, guys. Fuck, are you kidding me? No. Like, Spreaker's not picking you up for some reason. Hold on. Let me go back and mess with something again. One moment. Oh, that's the problem. All right. Say something.
Tony Khan sucks.
Perfect. All right, now we're back in business.
That'll pop you.
We're back in business, guys. All right. So let's restart a little bit. So underrated, you said Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins, yep.
That's a good choice. Like he has been really good. Like he's been showing that I think there was a motivation thing of like, everyone said Montez was going to be the star, and I have a feeling that kind of pissed off Angelo, and not pissed off as like he's going to get pissed off at his partner. But yeah, I think it was a thing of like everyone's saying he's good, like I'm here too, so it's good that he got motivated because and a lot of the things I've been seeing from him have been really good, and also he got in really good shape, so good on Angelo. My choice, underrated, is Ricky Starks. Which, not to say that he's been bad, it's just we've been seeing a lot of this from Ricky, which is just like, this is a guy that needs to be used more. Like, he needs to be on television more. And for the longest time, like ever since he got in AEW, he's just been part of a faction. He's been kind of kept under, someone's thumb. Now he's his own guy. Now he's a singles guy. The guy has something, and it was a big mistake to put him against MJF right off the bat, because now it's just like, okay, where do we go from here? Do we continue, rebuilding this guy as a top, babyface? And now we got him against Jericho, which could go one of two ways. So that's what worries me. But Ricky Starks, to me, has proven that he's a legit top babyface. And I don't trust Tony's booking. I see him as a guy that's going to go to WWE. In my opinion. But he's my choice for underrated wrestler of the year. Okay, so who was your choice for breakout wrestler of the year?
For me, and you guys know I have been the NXT mark here on this podcast here, and I've been, giving you guys people to look out for. You got your Kiana Jameses, your Tiffany Strattons, right? Your Julius Creeds, right? And Julius Creed almost won it for me. You can go through like, AEW and through, through the rest of the ranks too. Like Josh Alexander had like a fantastic year in Impact Wrestling, but no one really talks about it that much. But I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes, man. Carmelo Hayes. I think this guy's money. This guy has it. This guy has the look. This guy has the mic skills. Obviously, he's great in the ring. He has everything that you want within a pro wrestler. And it's gonna be a big 2023 for him. I see him winning some either some NXT gold or some mid-card title gold on the main roster. Carmelo Hayes, man, he's gonna be special, man. The way that they're training right now, he is going to be special, and I can't wait to see what happens with him in 2023.
Good choice. My choice, I went with Logan Paul. That's a guy, when they brought him in, I was ready to shit all over it. I remember, when I was on another podcast, I'm forgetting which, I was Wrestling Court with the Julian and Rob, and the topic was, to do our predictions for the show and for WrestleMania. And, when Logan's match came up, I was just like, yeah, I don't really care about this match. Like, I have zero interest. I don't care about the guys in it. I really don't care about Logan Paul. The guy's a joke. I don't care about him. The guy's a dick, yada, yada, yada. I watched the match, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised by how good he is, how much he gets it. When he did the spot where he's, doing the, I think he did the Three Amigos to Dominic, right? And he goes up to the apron and does the Eddie shimmy and the frog splash. I yelled out, "Fuck you!" I thought that was genius. I loved it. And then he had the match with Miz at SummerSlam, and then of course he had the match with Roman at Crown Jewel, and he's had 3 really good fucking matches, and he's someone I was ready to just shit all over and just say, this guy sucks, fuck him. But he's been really fucking good. And I'm eager to see what else he does in the company. And also, again, I use Cornette as an example. Cornette likes him. Cornette thinks he's really good. And, it's one of those things of like, if Cornette looks at something and goes, this is really fucking good, like, it's one of those things which is like, well, maybe it is really fucking good. So Logan, to me, is my breakout star of the year, and I'm eager to see what else he does next year. This award is going to be called 2023 is my year. So this is the award for someone that, in your opinion, man or woman, is going to make a big impact on wrestling, whether it's in WWE, AEW, what have you. So who do you think is going to have the biggest year of 2023?
The biggest year. So I look at this from two different directions. Either one, kind of like a not like a necessarily most improved, but just like kind of like out of nowhere guy. Like, oh man, like okay, I wasn't expecting him like to really come on and like take on this role, or pretty much not necessarily wrestler of the year, but like that's kind of like what it is, like just being the face of wrestling in 2023. So if I had to pick, depending on how it goes in his title reign, I'm gonna go with MJF. If MJF can keep us invested, interested, with different storylines and promo ability, with matches, the tease of going to WWE because the War 2024, all that stuff, right? Because that's gonna come interesting in September, October, November. That's gonna be interesting on AEW TV. How is he gonna play it out? Honestly, I think I think it'll work, but you never know. You never know, because like there's gonna be rumors out there, from the Meltzers and from the Sean Ross Sapps that MJF was actually probably gonna leave AEW. If that happens in 2023, then the TV of AEW is gonna be must see, just to see what the hell's gonna happen. If he's champion still, like how is Tony Khan gonna get this belt off this guy, right? It's gonna be like another Montreal Screwjob type of thing. Like, what's gonna happen? So I think like the most intriguing and part of it is that I think I really think that it could be MJF if the cards are played right. If the cards are played right.
Okay. My choice was Solo Sikoa. I think 2023 could be his year. I mean, not necessarily him being a world champion, but the way they've been building him up in the bloodline as being pretty much the cleanup guy. I think this could lead to bigger and better things. And lately they've been letting him use whatchamacallit, the Umaga's finisher. So
used it tonight to win the match.
Yeah, used it tonight. He beat Sheamus, former world champion. And it looks like he's going to be in a feud with Drew. So who knows what else he can do? I mean, I pitched the idea of maybe he can be someone for Roman. Maybe he can be an opponent for Roman. Not necessarily, Mania. Not even really saying SummerSlam. Like, it could be an interesting opponent for Roman, because the whole idea could be that he's a little out of control. He's the young one of the group. He's also the most stubborn and ignorant one of the group. And Roman has to be the one that kind of puts him in his place. But Solo goes, nah, fuck you. Like, I'm the young gun. I'm running things, not you. So that could be interesting. So Solo, they're booking him right. I mean, because you said MJF, he's the champion, and he's more than likely going to hold on to that title until, more than likely before his contract runs up. And how they book him is beyond us. Like, however that happens, we're never going to know. But I think a safer bet, is WWE booking, because it seems more consistent than AEW booking. So Solo, I think, is going to have a big year, in my opinion. Now we got 3 more to go. What was your favorite moment of the year?
Favorite moment of the
I think we have the same one. But go ahead.
I know. Well, I don't know. We may. I don't know. We may probably for the wrong reasons. Maybe. My favorite moment of the year, and probably what I'm going to remember. Outside, there's a lot of things I remember for the rest of my life from this year, but just like the night and the high that I was on, not literally, like I wasn't literally high, but like just like the wrestle high I was on. All Out Media Scrum
Yeah,
And-
yes.
And everything that I was up till 5 a.m. following this shit because it just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. I watched the whole Mia scrum from start to finish all over again. Like it was nuts, man. The all out Mia scrum, man. That was like imagine the Montreal Screwjob happening with social media right around and like, you know what I mean? That's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Because like if they didn't have, let's say there was no social media, right? There was no YouTube, right? They filmed let's say they did actually film the Mia scrum, but we didn't see anything about it, or we're probably never going to hear about it, right? Probably until like, you know, like a couple weeks or weeks from now, you know, from that time frame. And it's just gonna be like, oh, hearsay. Like, did CM Punk really call Adam Page a fucking dumb fuck? Like, did he actually call him that? Like, you know what I mean? And it'll just be like rumor and legend and all that, right? But the fact that we saw it live happening, and AEW still has it up. You can go watch it right now if you choose to, but you don't want to do that because you want to stay here, listening to this show. Man, the Mia scrum is my moment of the year. I could say Cody returning, obviously, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin returning, and going back and looking at it, Stone Cold Steve Austin returning to wrestling is not even a top 10 moment of the year. That's how crazy 2022 has been. All out Mia scrum. That's like amazing. Number one for me.
I told you we had the same choice. All up media scrum, just
I was thinking like, well, maybe for the wrong reasons, like
the right and wrong reasons. That's the best way to put it. I'm like you. It's just like I didn't expect that. I honestly didn't know. I honestly forgot that they were even going to have a media scrum, which I know they usually do, especially for like, you know, the big event of the year, but. With this one, it was just I wasn't really expecting much, and I didn't even watch it live because I was just like, who cares? And then I just saw the video showing on Twitter of Punk just, you know, going off on everybody. I'm like, holy fuck, I need to watch this. And I watched the whole thing, and like it's one of those things of like I have to go back and watch it like periodically every now and then, just so I can like just be entertained. Like it's cheese, it's good cheese. You know, and we like it for the right and wrong reasons, mostly for the wrong reasons. And it's one of those things of just like, we couldn't wait to hear other people's takes on it. Like we had to listen to multiple podcasts talk about it.
Yeah. Even people like I like actually despise. You know what I mean? Like I had to actually hear their opinions on it just to see like, are they gonna just like, you know, brush it under the rug, or are they gonna like tell the truth about it? So yeah, man, that's. Moment of the year, man. Like as far as like craziness in wrestling, that's a top 5 moment for me of all time.
Yeah, like no doubt.
Like as far as like pure insanity craziness, like that's a top 5 moment for me of all time.
I love it. Phil made some good shit for us. Now we're down to the final 2. So what was your favorite pay-per-view of the year?
This one I won't say it's pretty easy, but you had maybe WrestleMania Night 1, right? You probably could have said All Out just for the Mia scrum if you want to consider that part of the pay-per-view. But you know, Full Gear, Revolution, great pay-per-views. Clash at the Castle, you know, great show as well. But for me, it is AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. Like, that was a legendary, fantastic show from start to finish. And the main event was kind of mid a little bit. Gotta admit that. Still good, but wasn't that great compared to the rest of the pay-per-view. But just, you know, fantastic, you know, Claudio Castagnoli versus Zack Sabre Jr., Jay White and Okada and Hangman and Adam Cole, that 4-way, great match. Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy, fantastic match. Just, you know, FTR and who else was in that match? Oh, Roppongi Vice and United Empire, that's what it was. great match. Just what a show. What a show that was, man. And yeah, man, like, you know, we may be getting part 2 next year, but I love that match. It was a damn fun show. A show that we never thought we were gonna see. And the fact that a lot of these talent, like the fact that we didn't get Kenny Omega on the show, Bryan Danielson, remember, he was injured during this time as well. Hiromu Takahashi, who I wanted to be there so goddamn bad, didn't get to make it because of injury. Just overall, just a legendary show. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we'll see it again in 2023.
This is tough for me because there's been a lot of good events. WWE, aside from the Royal Rumble at the beginning of the year, they had really good pay-per-views. And for me, I had to really go back and forth because I had 2 that I was thinking of choosing. And then I had to really think in my mind, like, okay, which had better matches? Which had more memorable matches? I have to go with SummerSlam, which was the post Vince SummerSlam, the first pay-per-view without Vince in charge. And just looking at the matches, Bianca Belair versus Becky for the title, for the Raw Women's title, that was a really good match. That was a great match, actually. Logan Paul versus The Miz, another good match. Pat McAfee, coming out to acquire, saying bum ass Corbin, that was funny. The Usos and the Street Profits was good. Roman and Heyman, or not Heyman, Roman and Lesnar in the Last Man Standing match, which a match that we didn't know what was going to happen, but it ended up being so fucking entertaining. Like, it seemed like we were watching an Attitude Era match. Like, that's how entertaining it was. So, that was my choice. I enjoyed it. I loved it. The post-Vince era has been really good. The shows have been better. The matches have been better. They seem like wrestling matches. They seem like they're important. And that was my number one. Or not even number one. That was my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Lastly, what was your least favorite pay-per-view of the year?
Least favorite pay-per-view of the year? Well, I mean, I don't even think this is fair for me to say. Do I have to say it? Like,
say it. Just say it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you, but NWA Hard Times 3.
Okay, all right.
Tyrus became NWA World Champion. It's just that right there is terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Max Impaler versus Natalia Makorova wasn't that great of a match. You know, you had a tag team named Empowered versus at first when I first saw the tag team name, I thought it was pre-endowed. I was like, oh my god, that's kind of disgusting. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that wasn't a good show at all.
My choice.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, to be honest, I think overall the two major promotions, AEW and WWE has had good pay-per-view. Well, I mean, Royal Rumble was, you know what I mean, but AEW, they had good pay-per-views all year. I didn't think they had a bad show, in my opinion at least. I didn't think they had a bad show. WWE, I think really the worst pay-per-view was probably maybe Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? I think all the other pay-per-views have been pretty good to great for the most part. So, but yeah.
My choice was a recent pay-per-view, aside from the one match that everyone was talking about. Ring of Honor Final Battle. I was able to find someone that uploaded the whole pay-per-view on YouTube, and I watched all of it. Especially, the dog collar match with FTR and the Briscoes, which I'll just kind of give a brief review. I thought the match was just okay. Personally, I thought it was good because, FTR is great. The Briscoes, unpopular opinion, I don't think are as good as most people think they are. I think they're good, but I'm personally not a fan of them, just personally. And I don't really give a shit about their beliefs. It's just their in-ring work. It's not for me. it's an acquired taste. This match was kind of an acquired taste because it did a lot of the modern wrestling, indie wrestling shit of let's hit each other over the face with weapons 800 times and kick out at 800 times. Like, you know, there's a point where, like, I forgot what the spot was, but it looked like a finisher to me. And one of them kicked out at 2, and I just kind of let out a loud groan of, okay, that should have been the finish. So I thought the match was just okay. But the rest of this card, I don't care. I really don't care about anything else I was on this show. What is it? You had the slap fight of 2022, Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia.
Championship match.
Yeah, that match just looks so fake. That was probably the fakest looking wrestling match I've ever seen in my life that I can think of. Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson. The main event, Chris Jericho tapping out after passing out to a fucking Claudio's, fun swing match is just why. Like, what the fuck? Everything else on the show I didn't care about. So that was my least favorite pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion. What are your predictions for the year of 2023 for wrestling?
Okay, well, you ready to have a bold prediction here? I think that sometime in 2023, WWE will work with another big promotion, either New Japan or AEW. I think that Triple H knows that is the direction of pro wrestling this year. Not this year, but nowadays that is going back to the old days in the 60s, 70s, 80s, where talent exchange happens. Probably not to that effect, but if you're seeing it now, you're basically kind of seeing it now. Shinsuke Nakamura is in Japan right now, about to wrestle the Great Muta for Pro Wrestling Noah in 2 days. Carl Anderson is wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom in a few days. So never say never with that. So I can see it happening for sure. That's my boldest prediction. That is my biggest prediction for wrestling in 2023. Also, on top of that as well, I think that the returns and the debuts from Triple H is not going to stop. I definitely see him bringing back at least 10 to 15 more wrestlers, either to debut or to return on WWE TV in some fashion. That's including NXT. Mm-hmm. So that's another one as well. AEW, I see AEW. This is what I see for AEW. I see AEW because their TV's been getting better over the last few weeks. I see AEW continuing to rise in their ratings. Nothing significant. Not saying they're going to be constantly over a million every week, but they're going to continue to rise in their ratings, right? And eventually, I think they're going to get some type of streaming deal, finally, with either HBO, Discovery, somebody. Not to say what's going to happen with their pay-per-views or whatnot, but I think that's something as well. And one last thing for AEW as well. In 2023, this is probably the boldest one of all. If built correctly, if put in a position correctly, I think Jungle Boy is going to take the title off of MJF.
Okay.
There you go.
My predictions, kind of like yours, I think WWE will work with an outside company. Maybe like a New Japan, because, like you just pointed out, Nakamura will be wrestling in Great Muta's last match. Or he'll be wrestling Great Muta in his last match. So
Well, no, it's not Great Moo's last match. It's one of his last matches, but not his last match.
all right, there you go. So it looks like maybe there's a business deal going on with WWE and other companies, and also Carl Anderson is he's still a champion in NJPW, right?
Yeah, he is the IWGP Never Openweight champion.
See, there you go. So maybe that's the bridge. Maybe Carl Anderson is the bridge in a future relationship with NJPW and WWE. Maybe NWA might do something with WWE. I think they will. Impact Wrestling, I think, needs to do a business deal with somebody, preferably WWE, because fucking it went swimmingly with AEW. So I think WWE would be a much better choice. And also, not for nothing, there was the whole thing with Mickey, where Mickey, showed up at the Rumble, with her Impact Wrestling theme and the belt. So maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something to that. So I think Cody will win the Royal Rumble, and I think he'll win it by entering at 1, and he'll main event WrestleMania by beating Roman. I think Solo will win a title, whether it be the Intercontinental or U.S. title. I think Matt Riddle will eventually be released. Not saying I want it to happen, but eventually I think he will be released. Randy, I think, will come back sometime, maybe after SummerSlam, depending on how his back feels. As far as AEW goes, I think if you build up Jungle Boy correctly, he could be a bigger threat to MJF's title. But personally, to me, in my opinion, not saying I want this to happen, this just shows how Tony Khan books. I think they'll build that up as Kenny versus MJF. And Kenny will have to be the one that takes the title off of MJF. And MJF will go to WWE. I think Ricky Starks will go to WWE. Hobbs, Wardlow, I think will end up going to WWE. Who's another name? I'm trying to think of more names. FTR, I think, will end up coming back to WWE. I think WWE will sign the Von Erichs, like we mentioned. And it's just going to continue that gravy train of signing more people. I think WWE will want to go after Hammerstone. It depends on if Hammerstone ends up wanting to sign with them or not, which personally I think he will. And also his friendship with MJF might play into that, so who knows. Other predictions. Trying to think of more predictions.
Triple H will legalize crack cocaine to be used in the locker room.
Just for you primarily.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Just
Triple H, hire me, motherfucker. I need the money.
For you and Iron Sheik.
Oh, Shiggy baby loves the crack cocaine.
Justin Bubba, you want some crack rock with the Sheik? I think Vince McMahon will die. I'm playing.
Jesus
I'm playing.
Oh my god.
I'm playing. I don't want Vince to die.
Holy shit. I think Vince McMahon gets hit with Alzheimer's. Like, Jesus.
Alzheimer's. Eddie, Jesus true. That's pretty much all.
You forgot a couple of names like Matt Cardona too, coming back to WWE. Chelsea Green. There's a lot of names that, so thinking about are all those names coming back or debuting WWE? No, because at the end of the day, WWE's gonna end up turning it into AEW, where they're just gonna be inflated and people are gonna be upset that these new people are coming in. What happened to my spot? It's gonna be the same thing. So, I would love to see a lot of those names, but I just want to temper my expectations.
See, RJ's in the chat room. RJ, do you want to hop on for a bit? If you want to hop on, just raise your hand. That's pretty much all the predictions I have. I think Cardona will come back. It kind of seems like he's coming back. Chelsea Green, it's all but confirmed that she's coming back. Oh shit, he's at work. My bad. Yeah, let me get him on. Caller, you're on the air.
All right, I'm here. Year-end awards, huh? But
Year-end awards.
Let's get to my bold prediction real quick. I got a bold prediction for you. Hold your breath. Ric Flair's asshole is going to drop from his body.
Ah!
Oh, Jesus.
Woo!
Yeah, he's gonna go woo, all right. Like, what?
I got no asshole, baby. Woo!
And he's gonna be slapping his chest too, like, woo!
And meanwhile, he's going to be all red and purple, looking like a big bowl of rubber, like he
Jesus.
usually does when he's in the ring. Good Lord. Woo! Especially his TNA days. You guys remember that? I thought Ric Flair was going to die at any moment. He looked so rubbery and so pinkish looking. He looked like raw steak. Well,
He couldn't die in TNA because remember he was I am the wrestling. No, he didn't say he was a wrestling guy. He just called himself God. He literally thought he was God in TNA. You're in the ring with a God.
I just like the Ric Flair documentary that came out on ESPN a while ago when they get to the TNA portion and then just cuts to Jim Ross like doing a sharp turn to the camera and just goes, "He didn't have any money." I just thought that was perfect timing.
His well went dry and he went to TNA, man. Money over morals.
That's the tagline of to Ric Flair's career: money over morals.
Exactly, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys finish. I just wanted to hop in here and wish you guys all a happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my man.
Happy New Year, brother.
Tomorrow. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be on these shows with you guys, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Do a little something. And yeah, Drew, we doing the show tomorrow. Monty will be at it. So if any of you guys are interested in listening to that, we got that going on tomorrow. I got another show I'm doing at 2. So yeah, I'm gonna be a busy boy tomorrow. But hey, it's all good. I love it. I love this game. I love doing these shows. And as long as you guys will have me and listen to me, hey, I'll keep on doing them. So that's that, and I'll catch you guys later, man. Good night.
All right, good night, man.
Take care, brother.
Will do.
Be safe. Kyle, or it's like, be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and don't do anything I would do.
Drugs.
You should.
Don't do crack like Justin does, okay? Please stay away from crack.
Crack is whack. Crack is cheap. Don't do such a thing. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston.
All right, be safe, man. Kyle, the show's not live. The show that I do with RJ and Monty is pre-recorded, so it ends up getting uploaded like as soon as we're done. So yeah, you'll be able to catch it on the download tomorrow. So yeah, I'll share it as soon as it comes out. So those are our predictions. Justin, did you wanna do the rest of your timeline, and then we can jump into questions?
Yeah, sir. All right, guys. Well, if you missed the first half and you're just joining us here, I'm doing a full timeline of the year of the 2022 in wrestling. If you want to go back and listen to me going through each news event, not every single day of the year, but almost nearly every single day of the year, from January 1st through June the 30th, go back and listen to us. I think it's within like the first hour of the show here. So, all right, guys, let's get into July the 1st. Actually, July 2nd here. We left off here for June the 30th. Logan Paul officially signs with WWE. Here we go. July 2nd, Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan Austin Theory wins Money in the Bank. Later that night, Liv cashes in to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. June the 6th, Wardlow becomes TNT Champion after defeating Scorpio Sky. Where the hell is Scorpio Sky? Remember him? July the 8th, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, he reportedly paid $12 million in hush money to 4 women. July the 14th, rumors of WWE going back to TV 14. July the 19th, Ric Flair's last match main event was announced. July 21st, Cody wins best WWE moment at the ESPYs. July the 22nd, in the morning time, WWE announced Triple H would return as EVP of Talent Relations. That was at 9:09 a.m. Central Standard Time. 3:05 p.m., Vince McMahon announces via Twitter his retirement from the WWE. July 25th, WWE announced Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan would serve as co-CEOs. Stephanie would serve as chairwoman. Triple H named head of WWE Creative. July 27th, AEW announces the new Trios titles. July 30th, Triple H first pay-per-view in charge is SummerSlam. The return of Dakota Kai and Bayley. Return of Dakota Kai in WWE. Return to Bayley coming back to WWE from her injury. And WWE main roster debut of Io Shirai. July 31st, Ric Flair's last match.
That took some time off towards the end.
Hold on. Well, it's. I think RJ forgot to log out.
Yeah.
RJ, log out.
Oh, there you go.
RJ.
That's what's up.
RJ, you forgot to log out, bro. Okay. That took care of it. Continue.
Okay, sorry, forgot where I left off. Hold on, let me go back here. Kind of threw me off. Oh yeah, so on July 31st, that was Ric Flair's last match. August 6th, return of Karrion Kross on SmackDown. August 8th, return Dexter Lumis on Raw. August 9th, John Laurinaitis fired from WWE. August 10th, Gene LaBelle passes away. CM Punk returns to AEW, not WWE, announces a title match in 2 weeks against Jon Moxley. August the 12th, Hit Row returns to WWE. August 17th, CM Punk calls out Hangman Page in a shoot. Hangman never comes out. / Kenny Omega returns to AEW. August 18th, we learned that CM Punk call out of Hangman Adam Page was not a work. Also, WWE announced that the NXT UK brand will go on hiatus in September before the launch of NXT Europe in 2023. August 20th, more backstage drama between Punk and Hangman, Adam Page, and others backstage top stars are getting out of control. August 22nd, learn that Jeff Jarrett departs from WWE the week prior, and Road Dogg becomes WWE Senior VP of Live Events. Same night, later that night, Johnny Gargano returns to WWE. August 24th, CM Punk gets squashed by Jon Moxley to become undisputed AEW World Champion. August 25th, we learned that Eddie Kingston was suspended after altercation with Sammy Guevara. August 28th, Thunder Rosa announces injury, and a new AEW interim women's champion is to be determined. August 29th, we have that Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins sit-down promo on Raw. August 31st, AEW All Out Go Home Show. September the 3rd, WWE Clash at the Castle. First WWE European pay-per-view in approximately 20 years. September the 4th, this is where it gets good, guys. September the 4th, AEW All Out. 7:24 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Joker wins the Casino ladder match. AEW All Out, 7:50 p.m. The Elite becomes the first ever Trios champions. AEW All Out, 10:52 p.m. CM Punk becomes new AEW Undisputed Champion. AEW All Out, 10:57 p.m. MJF returns to AEW, revealing himself as the Joker. AEW All Out, 11:15 p.m. These are all Central Standard Time, by the way. All Out media scrum starts with CM Punk and Tony Khan. 1 minute later, Nick Houseman opens up with questions. CM Punk goes off on a tirade on Colt Cabana, Hangman Adam Page, and the Elite. 11:23 p.m. CM Punk plugs Minnie's Bakery. 11:49 p.m. The All Out media scrum ended. Approximately next day, September the 5th, same night, 12:46 a.m. Reports come out that the Elite are threatening to walk out from AEW after CM Punk's comments. 2:30 a.m. Rumors starting to swirl that there was a backstage fight, which ended up being CM Punk, Ace Steel, and the Elite. September the 5th. Later that night on WWE Raw, Braun Strowman returns to WWE. September the 7th, Pat McAfee steps away from WWE to be on College Game Day for the season. And also Malachi Black is granted his conditional release. September the 8th, the Elite is suspended and the Trios titles are vacated. CM Punk and I put suspended and learned. CM Punk was also suspended, and we learned that he tore his triceps in the brawl. Ace Steel, Brandon Cutler, Christopher Daniels, Pat Buck, and Michael Nakazawa all suspended. September 17th, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul announced for Crown Jewel. September 18th, White Rabbit being played from Jefferson Airplane being played during during commercial at SmackDown. September 19th, WWE announces War Games coming to Survivor Series. September 21st, Soraya signs with AEW and debuts at Grand Slam. September 23rd, the first White Rabbit QR code is teased. September 26th, Malachi Black goes on Instagram Live and denies AEW release rumors. And the same night, Candice LeRae returns to WWE. October 1st, Antonio Inoki passes away. October the 5th, former Tough Enough winner Sarah Lee passes away. Sammy Guevara and Andrade backstage altercation, which led to Andrade's suspension. October the 8th, Jon Moxley signs 5-year contract with AEW. Bray Wyatt also returns to WWE at Extreme Rules. October the 10th, Gallows and Anderson return to WWE. WWE rumors are swirling with showing interest in Matt Taven, and Aaliyah confirms her injuries, who we haven't seen since, thank God. October the 12th, Renee Paquette is All Elite. October the 18th, Chris Jericho signs with AEW for 3 years. October the 21st, AEW and CM Punk is in talks of contract buyout. October 28th, the All Out Brawl investigation is closed. So CM Punk reportedly not coming back to AEW. October the 30th, The Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura announced for Pro Wrestling Noah the new year 2023. November 2nd, Colt Cabana wrestles on Dynamite and Jeff Jarrett debuts in AEW. November the 5th, WWE Crown Jewel main events with Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. November the 10th, CM Punk makes his first post AEW appearance for commentating a MMA fight. November the 13th, Nick Aldis states that he will be leaving the NWA due to disrespect of his wife, Mickie James, and women's division of NWA, and Tyrus wins NWA World Championship. November 19th, the Elite return at Full Gear, and MJF wins AEW World Championship. December the 1st, final month here. December the 1st, MJF attacks William Regal to write him off AEW TV. December the 4th, William Regal reportedly returned to WWE and is granted his AEW release. December the 6th, Sasha Banks files for new trademarks. December the 7th, Tony Khan has media call for Final Battle. And during the call, he confirms William Regal's AEW departure. December the 8th, Sasha Banks is going to be at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Announced. December the 12th, William Regal is reportedly going back to WWE to a vice president position. December the 13th, reports of Matt Riddle's suspension and going to rehab / Mandy Rose drops NXT Women's title. December the 14th, Mandy Rose released from WWE. December the 19th, Bronson Reed returns to WWE. December the 20th, Lacey Evans shares autism conspiracy posts, makes her look like a dumbass. December the 28th, this week, Dragon Lee announces he is signing with WWE. FTR loses the AAA tag team titles. And tonight, December the 30th, Don West passes away. Rest in peace. John Cena wrestles on SmackDown for the final SmackDown 2022, and Charlotte Flair returns to WWE and wins the SmackDown Women's title. That is your year in wrestling 2022.
Can somebody, I don't know, I need to find a applause. Because, dude, you just, again, you're really good. Like, you're not good, you're great. You're great at being able to find all of that. You worked your ass off looking for all that information. You're a better man than me. You're a better man than most people, dude. And hold on, let me look for an applause, but hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, ready? And let me just replay it one more time.
I heard it. It sounds great. What a year.
And
again, the main purpose of this was for us to put this year into perspective, and me making this theory that there you go. Thank you.
Justin's awesome. Justin's awesome. Again, dude, I'm for real. I'm being serious. That was fucking amazing. That was really impressive what you just did. Getting all that information. I didn't know where that was going to go when you said, timeline. I'm like, all right, let's see where this goes. And I was blown away by just all that information, all those tiny attention to detail that most people wouldn't have been able to done. I sure shit wouldn't have been able to do all that. And you just came on here and you just blew everyone's mind. So Justin, I tip my hat to you, man.
I really appreciate it. And again, it took me a couple hours to put it together, but really at the end of the day, like, it's really to put in perspective that, if you didn't think that 2022 is one of the craziest years in wrestling, or the craziest year in wrestling, like, if after hearing that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. But just to think that something like, Dakota Kai, Dexter Lumis getting released on, I'm looking at here on April 29th to come back. Like, Dakota Kai was gone for 4 months, and she was back in WWE, And basically, the reason why I divided the way that I did, obviously, for 6 months, but it was kind of like pre-Vince McMahon and post-Vince McMahon on the differences that we saw in professional wrestling, especially in WWE, from January to June to July through December. So, yeah, what a year, man. I will never forget this year. And, hopefully, you guys loved what I did for you guys there.
We all loved it. I loved it. Anyone that didn't love that, come on. All right, so the last bit we have are the questions.
Yeah.
And we are going to go over 3 hours. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop this current recording on Spreaker, and then I'm going to start a new one. Justin, if you need to take like a 5-10 minute break, get some water, get a snack, take a shit, go right ahead, man. Everybody else, if you want to if you just want to get like a snack, get something to drink, go to the restroom, do whatever you need to do, I'm going to stop this current recording, and then I'm going to start a new recording. That one's going to be live. I'm going to make it live, and I'm also just going to combine both recordings and put them on Patreon, and then of course put this current recording on the free portion. So anyone that's listening, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the downloads. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. We will see you in the new year. So if you want to listen to the whole show, again, you gotta go to Patreon. You gotta listen. You gotta fork over those $5
$5.
$5 make you holla, and listen to everything. You can listen to the ad-free version of the show, and you can also listen to other content I put out with names like RJ, names like Jeff Littman, names like Ruben Prime, and there's going to be more where that came from in the new year. So from me to Justin, thank you guys for the love and support, and let's see what 2023 has to offer. So yeah, I'm just going to stop the recording real quick, and if you want to hear the rest, go on Patreon. So anyways, guys, peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.